Hey guys, how you doing? So today I'm gonna review for you a niche perfume from the house of Arquiste, and it is Nanban. Now this one, is really not talked about on YouTube, and I'm not sure how many people are familiar with it. But I recently saw that Joel Leno's, did a review on this, and really he's the only one who's praised it highly. And but at the same time, I don't think anybody has anything negative to say about this. It just is just not as well known. And so I've got an 8 ml tester here, or sample. And let me tell you what it smells like. I think this is a highly underrated, really good quality and highly unique scent. And look at the juice color there, right? And I think this is actually a must-have, in your collection, especially if you're into spicy orientals and also if you're into masculine fragrances. So this one, Arquiste is really interesting. They always, market with kind of a story that goes with the perfume. So let me read you briefly what, how Arquiste has marketed this one, right? So there's a short description here, which I'll read for you. First, it says, January 1618, a Japanese galleon, the Pacific Ocean. All right, and then the description is, following a diplomatic mission to the west, a galleon carrying a delegation of samurai charges through the dark ocean currents. Loaded with a rare and precious cargo, the ship's hull is redolent of sweet-smelling tropical woods, heady Spanish leather, frankincense, fine black pepper, and other exotic ground spices. The intoxicating spirit of a singular, extraordinary voyage of discovery. Now, man, that's what an attractive, description right there. And I think actually they do a really good job in telling you what, this sort of smells like and giving you the main notes. So the main notes in this fragrance are listed as black pepper, Persian saffron, coffee absolute, Spanish leather, myrrh, frankincense, and sandalwood. And I think those notes you get all of blended extraordinarily well. And if you think of the description, they also mention intoxicating, sort of voyage of discovery, samurai, dark ocean currents, rare cargo with woods and spices. That's what this fragrance smells like, and that's what it evokes, right? So I'll tell you what it smells like to me. I've got the dry down here, and I'm gonna give it a fresh spray as well. So yeah, so it actually opens up. Remember, the main notes here are some woods like sandalwood, also frankincense, myrrh, resins like myrrh and leather, as well as pepper, and saffron, right? So this one, it opens up quite sweet, but the sweetness is unlike many fragrances. It's not from any fruits or citruses like grapefruit. The sweetness here is really from woods, and it's like a resinous sweetness that's so deep, right, and so thick and intoxicating. So it's interesting. It's like the sweetness is all coming from resins and woods. At the same time, this is very aromatic, and with the pepper and saffron has like a really kind of aromatic kick to it. And it's not, while being sort of a heavy, dense, powerful fragrance, it's not overbearingly thick, right? And I don't like fragrances that are too thick to wear. And the sweetness, of course, like I said, it's a woody sweetness, and so it's not gonna be, how should I say? It's not gonna be too, kind of cloying or too sweet for anybody. Now this is an ultra masculine kind of scent. Because of the base on of woods and frankincense and spices. There's one so Amouage as a house, I think, is known for frankincense and a lot of spicy heavy fragrances, but this is different. It's sort of in its own category, I think. You know, I think of like a fragrance like Amouage Journey, which is actually quite popular and quite spicy, heavy fragrance. But I personally don't like that one, but I love this, right? And it's different because this has a little more sweetness to it. Actually, in the opening, quite a bit of sweetness from the woods and myrrh. Now, some of the other notes. So there is a very strong leather component, but I think even if you're not a fan of leather scent, it doesn't come across as like, you know, a really in-your-face leather, right? What you get is sort of, you can't really tell whether it's the woods or the leather because they're so well blended together. And the leather is just enough, right? I think it's there to give it sort of like a dryness and also a warmth. And you know, it really, you know, makes you think that this is gonna work well in the winter. And I think this is really perfect for the winter and colder months. But really, I think you can wear it any night out, right? I don't think it's a daytime scent on a warm day. It's really either for cool days or cold days and or cool nights, right? Definitely not like a summer fragrance. It's a bit too you know, too heavy, too intoxicating, and also too sweet. Now, as it goes into the dry down, that sweetness fades gradually, and you get more and more of the leather and the sandalwood in the base, and it becomes a very woody, spicy, aromatic kind of fragrance. Now, you know, in the description here talks about samurais, and I don't even know if I was influenced by that, right, marketing, but even if I hadn't had that, the smell of this really evokes like an oriental scene, right? And you know, the term oriental in perfumery has denotes a very specific sort of the use of specific ingredients and a specific, you know, kind of smell or certain accords, you know, like vanilla, amber, some spices, but it's not, you know, it's not used like the term oriental in sort of the everyday sense, right? When you think of Asia, right, when you think of oriental like that, it has a very specific meaning in perfumery. But this one, you know, I think truly, like when you think of oriental in the sense of like Asia, right? And here they specifically say like old Asia, right? Or Japan and samurai. That's exactly what this reminds me of. Like, think of Tom Cruise in The Last Samurai, right? Those times, and really sort of there's like an ancient feel to this, right? Like in a good way, not like an old smelling way, but an ancient in terms of a slightly dusty quality, the dryness, really mysterious and dark, and just intoxicating, right? It's as if like you opened up a crate full of these like precious resins and spices, and that's what you smell. And you know, it's just with the sweetness from the woods, it really, you know, I think that most people actually are gonna enjoy it. I think it's a really appealing fragrance that's quite masculine, and of course it's really, really unique, right? I don't think there's anything that smells like this, and it's got a lot of character. You know, just that description, I think, that I read in the beginning really captures this perfectly. And you know, just to make things even better, I think the price of this for niche perfume is just so good. You know, the full bottle of Arquiste Nanban is $195, so just about $200 flat, and for 100 ml, right? And that's actually, you can't get any better than that in terms of value for niche perfumes, and it really is totally worth that money, I think, and also smells, you know, just as high quality as any other Creed or Amouage or other niche houses. And so I think this is a highly underrated house because, you know, they're just not as well known, right, as things like Creed, which are more established. Highly underrated house that makes really unique fragrances, and Nanban has to be one of their best, and really a perfect spicy oriental cold weather, you know, fragrance all-star that I think for those reasons that it's so unique and it's a good value. It is a must-have in your collection. It's a good way, I think, if you're looking for the one kind of winter, cool weather niche fragrance. This is a good one. You want something more masculine and aromatic and, you know, I guess kind of potent, right? This is a really like strong potion. So this would be really perfect. So yeah, let me know if you guys have heard of this or tried it, or any other Arquiste fragrances. I want to try more from this house. So let me know if you have any recommendations, and I'll see you next time.